We got bugs. We got bed bugs over here. What's going on?
Oh, Siri.
I'll get you. You can sit next to me.
Out the door.
I don't have a friend tonight.
You have a friend tonight?
Yeah, I need a friend.
That's where all the action's going to be.
Oh, that's action? Oh,
There you
man.
go. You're right next to the camera. You can't miss it. There you go. Tell your boss, I was at the meeting. I'm
Sorry,
sorry.
there's a story tomorrow. Plans to spend $10 million just to take thing on the hearings.
You shave for summer or what?
I have
Shave?
focus.
Once in a while.
So, new look.
Happy?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Omar.
No problem. Good, how are you?
You're my hero now.
I know we're out here, aren't we?
Went right by it, didn't realize it.
Right next to like Kentucky, Missouri.
Kinda.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I'd like to call to order this meeting of the Naperville Park District Board of Commissioners. It is Thursday, July 25th, 2019 at 6:30 p.m. We can please rise for the pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Once you make them before the roll call, you're safe.
All right.
Bridget, can you please call the roll?
President Janner?
Here.
Vice President King?
Here.
Commissioner Carlson?
Here.
Commissioner Egan?
Present.
Commissioner McBroom, absent. Commissioner Riley?
Here.
Commissioner Todd?
Here.
We'll start with matters from the public. Bridget, is anyone from the public signed up to speak?
No one has.
Okay, then we'll move on to the consent agenda.
What about the new agenda item that's coming? Says new agenda item. That too.
I don't see that on my cheat sheet here, but I guess I should see it right here. It's an error, Bridget, on the screen or on the paper?
I'm just Right.
Okay, we'll move on to the consent agenda. Bridget, would you please read the items on the consent agenda tonight?
Item 3.1, approve June 2019 disbursements made through the FinTech electronic payment system in the amount of $2,931.95. 3.2, approve June 27, 2019 regular meeting minutes. 3.3, approve June 27, 2019 executive session closed meeting minutes. 3.4, award the contract for the building for the 95th Street Community Plaza project to Romtech Inc. in the amount of $340,450. 3.5, award the contract for the pavilion structure for the 95th Street Community Plaza project to Icon Shelter Systems Inc. in the amount of $60,750. 3.6, award the contract for site furnishings for the 95th Street Community Plaza project to Shade Systems Inc. in the amount of $42,319.94. 3.7, award the contract for the splash pad equipment for the 95th Street Community Plaza project to Water Play Solutions Corp. in the amount of $142,888. 3.8, adopt the updated recreation programming plan dated July 25th, 2019. 3.9, approve the 2019 last swing agreement, and that's final.
Okay. Thank you. Are there any items to be removed from the consent agenda?
Can we pull 3.4, 3.5, 3.6, 3.7?
Okay. Any others?
Do we have any left?
Got a few, Vernon, got a few left.
Motion to accept consent agenda items 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, and 3.8, and 3.9.
Second.
Any discussion? Bridget, please take the roll.
Vice President King?
Yes.
Commissioner Todd?
Yes.
Commissioner Carlson?
Yes.
Commissioner Egan?
Aye.
Commissioner Riley?
Yes.
President Janner?
Yes.
Now we move to approve Consent agenda items 3.4.
No,
Oh, huh?
the same one.
Same one.
The same ones.
We have to approve.
3.1, 3.2, 3.3, 3.8, and 3.9.
Second.
This is a voice vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, carries. Now we'll go back and pick up
Okay, move to accept consent agenda items 3.4, 3.4.
Just there.
Oh,
So you get
3.4.
second.
All right.
Any discussion, Commissioner Egan?
I'll just cover my comments across all these. I'll be voting no against all the ones I voted, that I pulled. Again, money could be better spent putting towards the community pool that the community's been asking for years and our expensive statistically correct surveys. And moreover, while I appreciate the fact that we can go and have a purchasing cooperative at the size of some of these projects, I would expect that we can bid out on our own to validate those pricings and make sure that we are getting the best price. So for those reasons, I'd be voting no against each one of these individual items that Vice President King agreed.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'll be supporting items 3.4, 3.5, 3.6, and 3.7, because this board has previously voted in favor of this project. The project has very broad community support, and these are necessary items to fulfill the promise that we made to the people when we said that we were going to build this one.
I can make one comment. Just Eric, we actually put these out for competitive bid, correct?
Yeah, it was part of a purchasing network that's already within a competitive bid. And then in addition, on top of that, we further negotiated. For instance, on the water play solutions for the splash pad equipment, we actually negotiated even further and got another $5,000 discount on top of that. So that's what you're approving tonight, is all those savings into that total amount of $142,888 for instance, the splash pad equipment purchasing order that's being asked for the board to consider.
In general, we've always done better by using the purchasing cooperative, I think.
It really depends on the type of project. For instance, in the past, like a Commissioner's Park, we procured the synthetic turf through purchasing networks. But again, that's a base point, that's through a competitive bid process, and then we further negotiate from that point and then present a purchase order or a contract to the board for consideration.
But to Commissioner Todd's point, that pricing was better than what the local rep for this region was willing to sell us the same exact product.
Any other discussion? Okay, Bridget, please take the roll.
Vice President King,
Yes.
Commissioner Todd,
Yes.
Commissioner Carlson,
Yes.
Commissioner Egan,
Nope.
Commissioner Riley,
Yes.
President Janner.
Yes. Thank you very much, Mike.
All right. Move to accept consent agenda item 3.5.
Second.
Point of order, does he have to read the item, or can we get away with just saying 3.5?
They've already
Bridget's
read
already
and rejected.
So we're good? Okay.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Bill, Commissioner Egan, you made your comments earlier,
Yes.
so, okay. Any other discussion? Bridget, please take the roll.
Vice President King,
Yes.
Commissioner Todd,
Yes.
Commissioner Carlson,
Yes.
Commissioner Egan,
Nay.
Commissioner Riley,
Yes.
President Janner.
Yes.
All right. Move to accept consent agenda item number 3.6.
Second.
Any discussion? Bridget, if you would.
Vice President King,
Yes.
Commissioner Todd,
Yes.
Commissioner Carlson,
Yes.
Commissioner Egan,
Nay.
Commissioner Riley,
Yes.
President Janner.
Yes.
All right. Move to accept consent agenda item 3.7.
Second.
Any discussion? Bridget, one more time.
Vice President King,
Yes.
Commissioner Todd,
Yes.
Commissioner Carlson,
Yes.
Commissioner Egan,
Nope.
Commissioner Riley,
Yes.
President Janner.
Yes.
All right.
Do we have to approve those? Sure.
No, you're good. Those were votes to approve.
Because we did separate. Okay.
On to the last one. All right.
Got them all, didn't we?
We got them all.
You got it all?
Got them all.
All right.
We've done.
We have no new business, so then we'll move on to discussion items, beginning with item 6.1, the 95th Street Community Plaza.
Yes, just a brief update on the 95th Street Community Plaza project here at Frontier Sports Complex. Earlier in the year, the board approved contract number 1, which primarily consists of earthwork and utilities. I'm pleased to report tonight to the board that the water line and sewer line work is almost complete. Almost all the earthwork or the main grading that's needed for the project is complete, with majority of the structural material hauled away. If you have a chance to drive out near the site by the 95th Street Library, take a look at it. It's really getting quite impressive with the beautiful stone that's around the pond, as well as some landscape material has already been added. With the board's approval of the purchasing network items this evening for the water play equipment, for the building, the other items, soon you'll be seeing them showing up on site later this year. The intent is to try to get as much as possible completed before the weather turns late fall, early winter. Whatever is left over, a small portion, including landscape restoration, will be addressed early next year, but have the project fully complete but by Memorial Day weekend of next year. So when we open all the aquatics facilities, this new splash pad will be open to the public too. So just a quick update on that.
Thank you. Any questions?
I've brought it up a couple times. What are we doing as far as like a safe crossing of that Cedar Glade? What are we doing there?
So we had discussions with School District 204 as well as the library, and I know this is on 204's radar after school session. As it relates to construction traffic, most of the earthwork will be completed before school starts up in August. But as far as students crossing, I think it's just a matter of 204 officials talking to their students to go up along 95th Street and cross at the crosswalk rather than between the buses along Cedar Glade. So it's just conversation with the students.
Is there any chance they're going to do that though?
Yeah.
They're not going to 95th Street.
Does the 204 think that the students that are coming from the back of the campus are going to go all the way up to 95th and come all the way back?
Yeah, I mean, we had discussions with 204 staff, and they're aware of the issue. They also receive videos of what occurs there after the school session. We can have a follow-up conversation.
The city's well aware of what we presented, that this is going to be a city issue.
Right.
Okay.
So they absolutely understand the need to change the dynamics of Cedar Glade.
Okay.
Is there, what hours are you most concerned with?
When they get out of school,
Yeah.
the kids are racing
Right.
down Cedar Glade, and
Right.
there's buses there. There's got to be something there, because they're not going to go to 95th.
Are
They're
you
going to
thinking
cross
it's
right
more like
there.
a crossing guard, a person out there, or more from a structural?
I don't know. If it needs to be a structural, at minimum, a pylon, but it'd be great to have lights or something that people know.
When you, if you were over there in the
Yeah,
afternoon, when school gets out,
Oh, right.
it's a parade, direct line right to the library.
Right.
I didn't know there was buses there, but if there's buses and people are peeking out, that's even more dangerous.
So if it was a crossing guard, under whose nickel would that be then? Would it be?
City,
City.
city or
It's
school.
cool.
That's maybe something I agree that makes a lot of sense, because that's gonna be, no one's gonna walk.
Right.
No,
And it's a sea of kids.
it's a quarter mile for God's sake. You can't walk that far.
Any other comments? Then we go to Wolf's Crossing Community Park.
So just another brief update for the board. In June, the board approved a contract for the Wolf's Crossing Community Park Development Project. Pleased to report we recently had a pre-construction meeting with the contractor in the city, getting started for that project. There's the last elements before you see mobilization on site, which will probably occur in early August. We're securing an NPDES permit, and also we're working through with IBNR on a OZAG grant agreement. So we're hoping to have those shortly, start mobilization in early August, and right where we want to be as far as schedule, having the project complete in summer of 2020. So just an update on that one as well.
Questions, comments? All right, 6.3, purchase of 2019 Toro Hybrid Fairway Mower for golf.
Yes, at the August board meeting, golf will be requesting a approval for a purchase of a brand new fairway mower for use at the Naperville Golf Course. This mower will be replacing a 13-year-old mower, which is now inoperative, and currently would require about $5,100 worth of service to maintain the use. The purchase would be a 2019 Toro Hybrid Fairway Mower, which is a combination diesel battery-powered mower, and it results in about 20% reduction in fuel use. We currently have one of these units in use right now at Springbrook Golf Course, and we are seeing lower fuel usage with this mower, and some excellent results and no major issues so far. The mower would be purchased through the National Intergovernmental Purchasing Alliance contract, and a total price of $59,551.45. and it is budgeted in the 2019 golf capital.
Questions, comments? Thank you. Item 6.4, purchase of 2019 Kubota articulated loader for parks.
Yeah, Fleet is request in purchase of a 2019 Kubota tractor loader for use in the Parks Department. This will be replacing a 15-year-old tractor, which has significant wear and tear. Just to get operating again would require a minimum of $10,000 worth of repairs. The new tractor has a load rating of over 2,000 pounds, which would safely lift most pallets of materials when they're delivered. And this new Kubota loader is listed at $62,581.70 and would use the Sourcewell purchasing agreement to purchase it.
Questions, comments? Thank you. Springbrook Golf Course maintenance building renovation.
And staff will be looking to bring to the August 8th board meeting a contract for approval for renovations at the Springbrook Golf Course for the maintenance building. A little background on the building. The building was built in 1989 and has limited crew areas, a small break room, a single shared bathroom, small office. Only about half of the building has heat, and which is inefficient electric heat. And there's no central air conditioner. There's only 2 wall units that are supplied for the break room and the 1 office room. This project would update and improve all those crew areas. We would add a wall to separate the shop and the crew areas, kind of cutting down on the noise and the debris and everything that goes between those areas. Add heat and insulation to the building, especially the storage and work areas. And then central air conditioning for the crew areas. And we'd update to gas heat for the entire building. We did receive excellent bid response for this. We did 9 bidders bid on it, and our low bidder was Integral Construction. Their total bid was $199,829, which included the 2 alternates. We'll be requesting 5% contingency on that, which would bring a total for this contract of $209,811.
Questions, comments?
Sounds like I don't know that we've ever done any renovation in the park, so I'm pretty sure it needs it.
Okay, 2019 Labor Day Parade participation.
Another parade, September 2nd, stepping off at 10 a.m. at Naperville North. We're marching. We have participation with the Elan Dancers and Magical Starlight Theater. I'll send out an invite right tomorrow to see, gauge interest in who wants to march with us. And since it's at North, we can arrange some transportation from Adams over there. Anyone know what their availability is?
That's Monday.
It's Monday.
Yeah.
Labor Day.
I'm probably out.
We got 2.
Yeah. 2? Okay.
We get a golf cart.
You know what, we,
Move door now.
that's something, we do need to, they need a speaker for music, so.
There you go.
Right.
Bam, bam.
We might need to do.
You think like?
Big room.
So you're gonna put that invitation out over there? So she's gonna put that out tomorrow if everyone could
And I
please,
need to register by the 31st, but I will anyway regardless.
so everyone could try to respond in a timely manner with a yes or no, so. All right, then we'll move on to the September 26, 2019 regular board meeting schedule conflict with the NRPA conference.
I have 3 commissioners attending. I think that would make it decide whether we want to move or cancel. I know last year we did cancel our September workshop to accommodate the conference. There really isn't a big, I mean, we could move it back a week, then we'd have 2 consecutive weeks of meeting, so.
Ray or Eric, do you know if there's anything from staff agenda standpoint that would cause any issues with hanging this one?
No, we can make it work if we needed to cancel.
Because we could always, if we can't wait, we need to have another one before.
Right. Anybody opposed to canceling the September 26th meeting on account of the conference and not a really hefty agenda? Okay, thank you. All right, department updates, administration.
Just one thing about, you should have received an invitation directly from the library about the intergovernmental dinner. There's a way to RSVP directly to them if you could go ahead and do that. I don't need to know, but just wanted to remind you, if you didn't get your invitation from them, let me know and I'll follow up. I think they sent it maybe a week ago.
Yeah.
Does anyone know whether they're able to attend? Obviously.
Your Dewey Decimal number.
Yeah.
It's at the Millennium District Library.
Okay. Thank you. Finance.
Okay, there's really not a lot of anything new to report. We're just going to be happy in a couple of weeks. We are in the peak payroll system, so we are cranking out the most dollars and the number of people that we're paying each week. I think we probably have about one more, and then we have some kids dropping off. Things have settled down a little bit, so it's been a little crazy. And we're gearing up for Eric and all his spending and with all these contracts and the payable, so that's it.
No one's ever been criticized for giving too brief of a report.
Just say it, Eric.
Set the
Just
example.
All right, human resources.
At the August meeting, I'm going to be bringing for your consideration a revised sign-off for our personnel policies and risk management manual. You recently approved the personnel policy one. What we're looking to do now is actually to merge the two. So it's one sign-off, as both of those manuals are going to be are on board docs and accessible for staff electronically, and that's how we're going to work with distribution. So please look for that. And then tomorrow is National Hire a Veteran Day, and Lisette from my department has submitted the Naperville Park District for a shout out. During the Fred and Angie show, they are recognizing businesses that will hire veterans tomorrow. So if you listen to 103.5, you may hear the Naperville Park District mentioned. So we're continuing to try different avenues to recruit and get our name out there as a potential employer.
Good. Thank you. Questions?
I think it's a good, idea.
Yeah.
Something different. I
Hey,
think people will wear.
different audience. We'll try anything. Well, not.
Yeah. Let's not go there.
Okay, IT. Yes, sir.
Yes, so we're still in a full support mode, but we recently ordered some test computers that we're going to be replacing some of our older fleet with. Just to give you guys an idea, we always order kind of like a test batch first to make sure that everything's going to work, the dual monitors are going to work, everything's going to work in regards to the stands we use and things of that nature. So we have we have three that we're testing with right now to make sure that when we roll them out, they're going to be great. That'll probably start happening in the fall. We're also getting some servers that we're replacing in the fall, so we're kind of just staging while still supporting at this point. And hopefully, just as many checks as we're cranking out, that's how many people we have using all our systems right now, so it'll start to die down.
Okay. Questions, comments? Thank you, sir. Marketing and communications.
All right, thank you. So I have a couple of things. First of all, last month I had mentioned that we're in the process of revamping the program guide, and that's in anticipation of the release of Winter 2020, which comes out later this year. And part of that revamp, I know I sent everybody, staff and board, an email the other day just talking about revamping it. So it's a great time to consider a possible name change for the publication. So just looking for your ideas. If you have anything, send it my way. Kind of exciting to do a little bit of an overhaul. And then the second thing is, I just wanted to make you aware that we will be bidding out the program guide printing. This is something that we typically do every 3 years. And so the bidding process is going to happen in August. And I will be coming to the board in September with a contract for approval. That's it. Thank you.
Questions? Thank you. All right, parks and golf.
First up, parks. Park's happy to report that Knox Park came through Ridfest in really good shape. Everything's been cleared out and some minor renovations done, but overall, everything's back to normal. The park crews are caught up on a lot of the mowing that was falling behind from earlier spring rains. And as transition to project work, mulching, working on native areas and invasive removals, trying to get a number of these things done before their staffing levels drop later this summer when summer help is on back to school.
Thank you, sir. Planning and development.
On August 8th, right before our regularly scheduled board meeting, we will have a 2020 Capital Projects Open House at the Naperville Municipal Center. It will be between 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. This is part of our capital projects policy. Every year we host a capital projects open house to let people know what projects we have planned for the following year. You may have seen the press release, but there's going to be Park Meadow projects, an initiative that we started this year. There's additional projects. There will be 6 of those showcased at the open house on August 8th. Also, there will be 3 pond improvement projects, and then 3 playground renovations, Bright Ridge Park, Brush Hill Park, Frontier Sports Complex on the east side, and Walnut Ridge Park basketball court renovations. So if you're available, please feel free to attend, but it'll be 5:30 to 7 on August 8th. And then lastly, we had a bid opening today for Winding Creek Park pond dredging project. This is something we had budgeted in the 2019 capital budget in the amount of $30,000. We had 1 bidder. The name of the company is Global Infrastructure in the amount of $27,895,000. So that's or $27,895. So that's within budget, and we plan on bringing a contract to the board for consideration at the August board meeting. But this is something that this contractor, we worked with quite a bit in the past. They worked on the Rock Ridge Park pond dredging project last year, so we know they're going to do a great job.
Did we dredge that one last year, or was that the same one?
No, we dredged Rock Ridge Park last year.
Right off of Naperville? Okay.
Yeah, so this is Winding Creek Park. This is planned for this year in 2019 to be done. Also, we're working on Made Watts Park right now. So there's 2 main dredging projects planned for the park district this year.
As far as not more parties interested, same story as before, just they got too much backlog. And
Yeah, a lot of them are busy, and usually by this, we try to bid them early in the year, but the problem is early in the year is we get a lot of precipitation and it's tough to dredge these ponds, and then we got to let them drain down. So really the ideal time to do it is over the summer months. And we call companies, sometimes they fill up, sometimes they become available. At this particular time, this company was available, the other ones just didn't have an interest in the project. Sometimes it's the quantity or the size of the project, and this one's a little smaller than some of the projects that they do in the area.
Okay. Thank you. Recreation update, Brad?
Yeah, first off, thank you to everyone who was able to assist with last night's volunteer event at the beach. That was one of our larger events. We had over 1,000 RSVPs, right around 900 who actually attended. So got through the food. And just to add to that event, about 15 minutes in, we were notified that the beach facility was also being audited by Ellis and Associates. Ellis comes out and they monitor and they audit our lifeguards. They come out at least 3 times during the course of the season, and it's a pretty extensive process that they do, doing observations, having the guards run through scenarios, go through paperwork, so on and so forth. As they were having to run through their exercises, they also had to deal with a patron that had a pretty extensive bloody nose, and then 2 missing kids. So it was quite an intense evening. But happy to report that at the end of the evening, the guards received another exceeds, which is the highest score that Ellis gives out in the conducted on. So very, very proud of the staff and what they did last night, especially under the circumstances last night. Centennial Beach, just to provide the board with an update, it was a slow start to the season in June, just with the weather, the amount of overcast and cooler temperatures we had during the course of that month. We actually saw attendance down 37% as compared to our 3-year average for the facility for the same time frame. Happy to report that through July 17th, so about midway through the month, that we're making up quite a bit of ground. Attendance was down 18%. Revenue through July 17th is down 6%. At the next meeting, we'll report out even further information regarding the facility performance. But a couple of things, we've had 2 nice membership sales during the course of the year. A splash sale in June, where we rolled back prices and we sold 205 memberships. And then we've sold nearly 500 memberships for our 50% off sale that started on July 12th. So certainly thanks to Sam and her team for getting the word out and pushing that. We've had some success around it. The pickleball tournament, if you didn't get an opportunity to see that at Nike Sports Complex, they had over 400 participants that were in that tournament, utilizing all of the tennis courts and the pickleball courts. We are going to recap the tournament with the tournament organizer next week. All indications are that they want to make this an annual event and that they would like to come back to Naperville. There was a bit of court damage from some seating that had been placed on the pickleball courts, but that's something we're working to get repaired with our maintenance staff, and then the tournament would ultimately be responsible for making those repairs or the cost of those repairs. And then just based upon the demand that we've seen with the 4 courts added at Nike, we have several evenings where there's quite a few people who are actually waiting to be able to play. In order to help with that, we are going to use some of the revenue from the pickleball tournament to line out permanent pickleball lines on 2 of the tennis courts, which will create 4 more courts that individuals within the pickleball community can bring out their own nets, set that up, and have some additional courts to play on right there at Nike Sports Complex. So that should be a nice add in the next several weeks. And then lastly, in the coming next few weeks, you're going to begin hearing more about the healing field that's coming up. We will have a disassembly of all the flags that have been on the field so that we can put new materials on those flags. That will be on October 5th. And then our flag assembly will be on October 19th. The event runs from November 1st to the 11th. So as we get a little bit closer, I will send out emails with invitations for any members of the board to join us for any of those volunteer opportunities. That's it.
Thank you. Any questions? Was there a golf report?
There was.
Let's go back to it.
Real quick, this past weekend was our men's amateur city championship. We had 135 golfers out at Springbrook and Naperville, and as you recall, on Saturday we were at about 98 degrees with heat indices of about 110. Play got through that event or that day without any issues. We did have 5 withdrawals before the event, which is understanding. We had no problem with that, but most of the players got through without any issues. Unfortunately, on Sunday, with the rain and the lightning and the delays, nonstop delays, we had to cancel the second round of the event. Overall, good feedback on the event and our decision to make that only a 18-hole event, and the low score was a 67. Who was our winner, Jeff Kerr. Yeah, I might go get that tonight. Real quick update on revenues and other things in golf. As Brad mentioned, obviously the spring weather kind of slowed things down for us, but through June we've made a little bit of headway back. Through June 30th, our revenues overall are down about 5% year-to-date for budget. But we're up about 4% over 2018 revenues. So the good numbers are looking pretty solid through June. Naperville is up about 1% overall for year-to-date, and Springbrook still is down about 7%, mainly due to the drainage issues out there, restricting parts on more opportunities than we would see, we would rather have. A couple other notes, range revenues are through the roof, at least especially at Springbrook. We're up year-to-date 15% over 2018 numbers. Merchandise revenues continue to climb. We're up 5% over 2018 numbers, and our program revenues are year-to-date up 10%. We're just finishing up our junior programs this week. Camps, clinics, and leagues will be finishing up this week, and overall participation is really nice.
Okay, great. Questions? All right. We'll move on then to future meetings. The next regular meeting on the Board of Park Commissioners is August 8th, 2019, 7 p.m. at the Naperville Municipal Center Council Chambers, followed by the August 22nd, 2019 meeting, 6:30 p.m. back here at South Maintenance Facility. And now we'll move on to executive session.
Move to adjourn to executive session, discuss personnel under section 2C1 and land acquisition under section 2C5.
Second.
Any discussion? Virginia, call the roll, please.
Vice President King,
Yes.
Commissioner Todd,
Yes.
Commissioner Carlson,
Yes.
Commissioner Egan,
No.
Commissioner Riley,
Yes.
President Jana.
Yes.